In this video, Mat Foundation is designed for first video of wind load case. Okay, so I will open the ETABS, ETABS 2018. I will open the model which I have saved previously. This is the model which I have saved previously for wind load case. Here, for this building, I will be designing the mat foundation. For designing the mat foundation, I have to take the base reactions on the first floor, that is story 1. For this base reaction of the columns are taken on the first floor. So I will first check that the model is locked and all the members are passing. I will go to design, concrete frame design, and verify all members passed. Here it says that all members are passed. So now we have to get the base reactions of the columns at story 1. Similarly, you have to view all the base reactions for dead load case as well as for live load case. So right click on frames, show tables, and right click on story and select story 1. Okay, I again went to the wrong area. Right click on element forces column, show table, and select story 1. Here for output case, select dead. Then in station, select sort ascending. Note down all the loads acting on the column at station 0 meters. That is station 0 meter is the base level of the column, and these as I have said, this this P is in negative because in E types the z axis is in vertical direction. Similarly, note down all the output case for live load as well. Select the station as 0 meters and note down all the columns load, all the loads acting on the column. This you have to note it down via Excel. You cannot export this file, so you have to manually input it into Excel. This is for the base reaction. Now for decide for viewing which column has which property assigned, go to model definition, go to frame assignment, frame item assignment, and right click on summary, show table. Here select story 1 and in label select multiple labels such as from column 1 to 36 and apply multiple item filter. And here you have to note down uh, all the column sizes. So in this way you can note down all the sizes, and for in a plan view you have to view the which column has which number. Here as you can see that there are multiple columns assigned, that is C1 to C36. I will show it again. Here labels as C1 to C36. Here you have to see that which column is placed where. So in order to see which column is placed at which location, go to uh, set display option, then object assignment, and then here select labels and click on apply. Frame assignments and select labels and click on apply. Here you can see the column, which column is assigned, which column has which column number. So in this way you can view the which column has which number assigned. I have done it manually in Excel and exported it as PDF. Here is the uh, here is the here is what I have got. Now you have to open etypes. Sorry, you have to open save. Open save. Click on file, new model. Here in design code select Indian IS 456 2000, and in units select as metric default, and then click on OK. And here in design preferences you have to change the minimum cover slab for covers slab minimum cover for slabs. So keep it as 50 mm, and clear cover for bottom keep it as 50 mm, and preferred rebar size we will keep it as 25 mm, and click on OK. Here select grid only. As you can see from this, we will first draw the slab over this grid area, and then we will expand it forward. So as you can see here, you can see that there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 grids in x direction as well as 6 grids in y direction, and spacing of each grid is 5 meters. Open the save software, and a number of grids in x direction keep it as 6, y direction keep it as 6, and spacing keep it as 5 meters in x direction as well as spacing in y direction as 5, and then click on OK. Here you can see that 6 grids are drawn in x as well as y direction. Here you can see that 6 grids are drawn in x direction as well as 6 grids are drawn in y direction, and the spacing between them is 5 meters. For displaying the settings you can go to draw, draw dimension line. As you can see, the spacing between each of these grids is 5 meters. Similarly, the spacing for each of these grids will be 5 meters each. Now for drawing, we will first draw slab over this entire area, and then expand it by certain amount. For before drawing slab, we will define all the material properties, that is steel property as well as concrete property. Go to define materials. Here add new material. The material which we have selected was M30. Here sorry, M60. Type here as M60. Then material type as concrete. For weight per unit volume, keep it as 25. Modulus of elasticity, as as you know, the modulus of elasticity is given by 5000 root of FCK. So so it comes to be 38729.8335. Don't change the Poisson's ratio. The coefficient of thermal expansion is 0.5 times 0.55, and uh, concrete cube compressive strength, that is FCK, will be 60. Keep it uh, keep it select OK. Also we will add same properties for HYHD for 500 bar. Select here as rebar. Here in material type change to concrete. Sorry, in material type change to rebar, and weight per unit volume will be 7850. Then modulus of elasticity will be 2 into 10 raised to 5. Then minimum yield strength will be 500 MPa, and ultimate tensile stress will be 545. Click on OK. Here material M60 concrete and HYSD 500 bar are defined. Click on OK. Now you will draw the slab. You can draw slab from here, also from here draw slab area. Before drawing slab, make sure that you have defined the slab property. For defining the slab property, go to define slab property. Click on add new property. We will uh, here keep the slab. You can change the property data to matte. Also, you can keep it as slab. I will here keep it as matte and keep the thickness as 1000 as the load is very much high. Here I will keep the slab material as M60 and I will name it as only slab and click on OK. The slab property is defined. Now you have to draw the slab. Go to draw slab areas. Here in property, select the slab and select the total area. Okay, your slab property is defined. Now change the design to go to design and change the rebar material to HYSD 500 and click on OK. Now the slab is defined. You have to add columns at various intersections. Uh, for for uh, for drawing columns, go to before you have to first define the columns. Go to define column properties, add new property. Here select. You have to define various column sizes. I will define it as shown in the video. Here there are 36 columns, so you have to define 36 columns and their size the size is also varying, so I will define the columns as shown. Now the column properties are defined. Now you have to add the columns to various grid intersections. Here as you can see that the columns are present at grid intersection only, that is at this point, this point, this point, this point, and all such grid intersections. And the columns are the column numbers are naming from C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6. Then again it is starting from C7 here and not starting from here. So I will draw the columns here. uh, I will draw columns at random first and then I will assign the properties to them. So I will go to draw columns. In type of object, make sure that column is selected, and in property below keep keep it as none, and in property above keep it as any column size, and then height below keep it as 0 meters, and we will keep the plinth height to be equal to about 2 meters, and rest you don't have to change. And then I will draw columns here first, and instead of drawing here, I will replicate it as shown. I will select the columns, make sure that only 2 points are selected. Now I will replicate it as shown. Here the distance between each grid is 5 meters each. So I will select this column. I will select this column and replicate it. Increment in x direction as well as increment in y direction should be 5 meters, and number of increment will be equal to number of columns in x and y direction. Here, as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 columns. So keep the number of increment as 6 and click on OK. Okay, I made mistake. Again, select the previous selection and replicate it. Here, first you have to replicate in x direction. So keep increment in y direction as 0 and keep the increment as 5, as there are only 5 more columns in x direction. Now now you have to replicate all these in y direction. Go to Control R, and in dy keep it as 5 meter, and in increment in x direction keep it as 0 and click on OK. Thus the columns are defined. Thus the columns are placed. Now you have to change the property of the column. Here, as you can see, the column labeling starts from C1 here, C2 here, and then it again starts from C7. Then again it starts from C13 at this edge. Then again it starts from C19 at this edge, and then it starts from again it starts from C25 from this edge, and it starts from C31 from this edge. So you have to remember it, and now you have to change the property of these columns as shown. Now all the column properties are assigned. Now all the columns are assigned. You have to now assign the loads to each column points. For assigning the loads, we will be assigning first the dead loads to each column, then live load to each column. First, select the points you want to assign the load. Make sure that one point is selected. Then go to Assign, Load Data, and Point Load. Here, select the load which is acting on column C1, that is -424.0519, and paste it here. You do not need to add negative sign, because here as it is shown minus z direction, so you do not need to add negative sign. And in make sure that you always select the size load for punching shear, as size 300 by 300, that is the size of the column. I will be adding similarly loads to all the columns. Now I have defined all the column properties. Now the next step comes is defining the soil property. For before defining the soil property, you have to before assigning the soil property to the mat foundation, you have to define it So to define it, go to define soil subgrade properties. Here I have defined soil 2. You can click on modify or show property, and we will select the SBC as 200 kilonewton per meter square, and allowable settlement as 100 uh, 100 1 centimeter, which is equal to 10 mm. And then the subgrade modulus, which is 2 200 upon 1 centimeter, which is 2 e raised to 04, 2 into 10 raised to 4. And click on OK. Again click on OK. Then now you have to assign the defined soil property to it. Go select the slab raft footing, go to assign support data, then soil property. Here select soil 2 and click on OK. The soil property is now assigned. The next step is to define the strip, design strip. Now the next step is the defining the design strip. For the length of the design strip. Length of the design strip is taken as 0.25 times of L1 or L2. In this case, the L1 and L2 are same. So 0.25 times of uh, 0.25 times of uh, 25, which is 6.25. Go to draw, then draw design strips. Make sure that column strip is selected, and strip layer A, which is in X direction, and start with left, keep it as 6.25. Here also keep it as 6.25. Here also 6.25, as well as here also 6.25. And now draw the design strip from one corner to the another. But before drawing the design strip, we will expand the slab. Go to select the slab, then uh, edit edit areas, and expand or shrink areas. Then keep the offset value. We will keep the offset value as 4 meters, that is 4000 mm, and click on OK. Now you have to draw the design strips from one end to the another end. Go to define, draw uh, design strips. Here keep it as 6.25 and 6.25, and then select one corner and select the another corner. Okay. Okay, like this you can draw the design strip. You can take the use of help of grid. You can draw the design strip. For strip in Y direction, select strip layer as B. Now the design strips are drawn. You have to now change the reinforcement in each of the design strip. Right click on the design strip, and here change the reinforcement to HYHD 500. Click on OK. Now change the make sure that the slab reinforcement slab rebar material is also set to HYSD 500 and click on OK. Now, the next step is defining the load pattern as well as load cases. Go to define load patterns. Here, make sure that dead and live load both are selected. Click on OK. Then go to load cases. Make sure that linear static is selected. We are doing only linear static analysis for this problem only. Go to define load combination. We will add two new combination. Dead load of 1 with scale factor as 1 and live load with scale factor as 1, and select all the three service condition. Click on OK. This will be the combination 1, and in combination 2 select the scale factor as 1.5. Here select dead load 1.5 and live load scale factor as 1.5, and select strength ultimate. Click on OK. Now everything is defined. Now directly run the case, and now directly run the analysis and design. It will take some time to for analysis to be done. As you can see, the displacement values are displayed. um, uh, you can view the displacement values by referring to the color chart given. You can also view it in 3D view by clicking on 3D. Again, coming to XY direction, then you can view its extruded model. Go to set display option, extrude view. This extruded model will not be viewed once the analysis is done. When the model is unlocked, the extruded view can be viewed. Then again, coming to XY direction plane, go to display, show punching shear design. Here, as you can see, the value of punching shear is almost for some column it is less than 1, but for some column it is failing. It is the maximum value is going up to 2.681, 2.744. So in order to the maximum shear capacity ratio should not be greater than 1. So in order to pass it, unlock the model. You can view the extruded view now. Go to this select set display option and extrude view. Go to 3D view. Here you can see the 3D view. Now select the slab area. Without selecting the slab area, it will be okay. Go to slab 1. Make sure which property is assigned. As you can see, the slab property is assigned here. Go to define slab property, modify or show property. Here the thickness we have kept as 1000. So keep the thickness as 1500 and again run the analysis and design. Go to XY plane. Go to display, show punching shear ratio. Again, still the value is not less than 1 for some columns. Make sure that the value is less than 1. Again, unlock the model. Go to define slab property, and here keep the thickness as 1700, that is 1.7 meter. Now again run the analysis and design. You can move the cursor over various points to see the displacement values. Go to display, show punching shear design. Here now you can see that almost all the punching columns are passing in punching shear. So this means that the raft which we have designed is safe to display the uh, reaction forces. Go to display, show reaction forces. To show the slab forces or stresses, go to the following, and then select. Here we will select M max. Here you can see that the maximum moment as like this. Note that the moment is in kilonewton meter per meter. Now go to display, show strip forces. Here select the combination you want, or select the load case you want, or any combination you want. Select shear force or moment which you want to see. Select layer A. Go to show values on diagram and click on apply. You can move your cursor over various points to see the strip forces along x direction, that is along strip A. Then again close for selecting the, you can view like this. Then close this. Go to display, show slab design. Here keep it as design basis as strip base. Make sure that impose minimum reinforcement is selected. Choose strip direction as in which you want to see show the reinforcement, and click on apply. Here move your cursor over this and you can see various area of bar requirement at top and bottom as well. Similarly go for layer B and unselect the layer A. Similarly you can view this, close it. Now here you can also view the crack width. Select the load combination or load case you want. We will select the load combination 2 here and click on apply. The crack width is in 10 raised to minus 3, which is very less, so it is acceptable. 10 raised to minus 3 mm. Go to slab top face and click on apply. Here you can see the crack width. Close it, and then now going for detailing. For detailing, go to run detailing, and uh, make sure that all these three is selected, and go to OK. Click on OK. Now the detailing is done. You can view the various components such as general notes, rebar shapes. Uh, you can also view the framing plan, rebar table. Here the rebar table is not shown. If it is not shown, again run the detailing. Now maybe it will be shown. Here now, as you can see, the rebar table is shown with bar mark, diameter of bar, shape code, etc., etc., etc. You can also view the rebar build quantity, that is which bar size is required and what is the length required and what its weight. You can also view uh, top rebar plan as well as bottom rebar plan like this. You can also view the section view. Thus, this ends the video for a design of raft foundation. Hope you like the video. Thank you for watching.